Alright everyone, time for the final episode of Review of the Day, which is M.A.D. A girl named Karen breaks up with her longtime boyfriend Tad. However, before he leaves, Tad shows her a phone which has some embarrassing video of her that she doesn't even remember when she was drunk. Veronica agrees to help retrieve her phone. Later, Veronica and Logan make out in the bathroom. Veronica and Tad have their phones confiscated, but only Veronica gets hers back, indicating that Veronica stole it, which she did. Keith notices an ad for $50,000 for the whereabouts of Duncan Kane. Jews are in the project of finding Duncan before Keith has to leave on a date. Carmen enters Mars Investigations and smashes Tad's phone. Tad instant messages Veronica with the video again. Tad and Carmen get back together, though destroying the pipe that he is blackmailing her. Asuda mocks Tad for his supposed homosexuality, even though he wants to join the Navy, referencing Don't Ask, Don't Tell, which was in effect at the time. Veronica talks to Carmen again, and she has a new plan, which involves Carmen inviting Tad to a romantic walk on the beach. Weevil informs Veronica that Duncan bought a cheap car shortly before he ran away. Logan and Veronica go back to his house before Aaron Eccles awkwardly comes in. While Veronica is in the bathroom, Logan's friend Dick and Beaver come, leaving Veronica to escape. Aaron attempts to be helpful by giving her a ride home and returning her purse, and Aaron is generally supportive of Veronica and Logan's relationship. At the boardwalk, Carmen asks Tad to talk to Seth, an openly gay student, while Veronica takes pictures. Keith gets a lead on Duncan's stolen car, which is in Tijuana, Mexico, but Duncan does not have it. Veronica talks to Mac and asks her to create a sexually explicit website involving Tad. Veronica and Carmen talk to Tad, who show him the recently created website, and Veronica says she will send the website to the Naval Academy if he doesn't break up with Carmen and deletes the videos of Carmen. Logan invites Veronica on a date out, indicating that he wants to make their relationship public. Logan also says that he thinks that Aaron likes her. Veronica notices an ad in the newspaper which says they are seeking Leon Mars, who has just been put under a notice of legal proceedings in the classified section. Veronica looks up how soon the situation with her mother's happening, which is under an hour. Veronica tracks Keith in order to find out what the ad was for, and she follows him to a hotel before finding him with Alicia on the ballroom dance floor. At school the next day, Veronica and Carmen find out that Tad has released a video of Carmen. Veronica suggests sending the incriminating email in retaliation, but Carmen refuses to oblige with her request. Veronica takes a look at a screenshot from the video and notices the same lanterns as Shelley Pomeroy's house, where she was drugged and raped a year earlier. Mac talks to Veronica about a passport she found of Roberto Nalbandian, who lives in Argentina and is likely an alias for Duncan. Veronica enlists Mac's help in timestamping the day of the video, and it turns out that it was the same night of Veronica's rape. Claire's Weeman confronts Alicia Fennell about her relationship with Keith and tells her about Wallace's bugging of his office. Veronica gets Weevil and the biker gang to tie Tad to the flagpole, and she tells him that she knows about the rupees the night of Shelley Pomeroy's party, where she was raped. He says that Logan gave him the drugs, which are not roofies, but GHB. At their date, Logan waits alone. Aww. So now let's take a look at some cultural references here. The episode's cultural references include a stuffed figure of Garfield can be seen. Veronica says jokingly that Keith and Alicia play bingo at veterans of foreign wars on their dates. Veronica says, "Ogly doggly," a reference to the character Ned Flanders from The Simpsons. Veronica's teacher mentions a tin can telephone. Keith says, "money for nothing," referencing the Dire Straits song of the same name. The episode mentions the website eBay. Carmen and Veronica reference the action drama film Top Gun. Tad calls Seth Boy George. Carmen compares her situation to that of the Star Wars kid. The episode mentions that Duncan aced his PSATs. The episode makes strong references to Don't Ask, Don't Tell. And now let's take a look at the arc significance in this episode. Keith discovers that the Canes are offering $50,000 to find Duncan. Mac finds out that Duncan bought an Argentinian passport for himself. Keith runs a missing persons notice in the paper for Leanne Mars, so that he will be eligible for divorce, which Veronica notices. Clarence Wiedemann shows Alicia Fennell the bug Veronica planted in his office and tells her to break up with Keith or she'll be fired. Karma can't remember the night of the party where Tad raped her. It was the same night that Veronica was raped. Tad Wilson, while tied to the flagpole, admits that he used GHB on Carmen Ruiz and that he got it from Logan. And now on to the music. The following songs can be heard in the episode: Gold Rush by Kissinger, Me and You and Dog Named Boo by Lobo, Finding Out True Love is Blind by Louis XIV, Tu Abandono by Ex Herrera, Let's Say Loya by Josh Kramer and Jeff Diagnostino, sorry if I mispronounced that, Love Is Here to Stay by George and Ira Gershwin, performed by Louis Armstrong and Ella Fitzgerald, and Crimson and Clover by Tommy James and the Shondells. And now finally, the production. This episode was originally titled Tit for Tad, before being changed to the current title of M.A.D. This episode features the first appearance of character Cassidy Beaver Casablancas, portrayed by Kyle Gallner, who was later promoted to starring status in the show's second season along with his brother, Dick Casablancas, portrayed by Ryan Hansen, who also appears in the episode. The character was created so that Dick would have a younger brother who was the complete opposite of him. In the episode, Carmen likens her situation to that of Paris Hilton, who started earlier in the season, the episode Credit Where Credit's Due, as Logan's then-girlfriend Caitlin. The episode's title is an acronym for a mutually assured destruction, a military doctrine that two sides who have stockpiles of weapons of mass destruction will be hesitant to attack each other in fear of a nuclear holocaust. The character of Duncan does not appear in this episode despite being in the opening credits. The episode was co-written by Phil Klemmer and John Enbaum. The episode marks Klemmer's fourth writing credit and Enbaum's third writing credit after Lord of the Bling and Rescue Business. The episode was directed by John Kretschmer, featuring his third directing credit for the show after Silence of the Lamb and Weapons of Class Destruction. Among the episode's many guest stars are several of the important recurring characters of the season, including Mac, Clarence Wiedemann, Alicia Fennell, and Aaron Eccles. So overall, this episode was kind of interesting, and finding out that Duncan ran away to Argentina is kind of interesting, and I'm pretty sure we'll find out why he did that in the next episode. So overall, I give M.A.D. 4 marshmallows out of 5. Well, tune in tomorrow as we take a look at the penultimate episode of the season, A Trip to the Dentist. So, until then, remember everyone, the game's afoot.